How you doing, everybody? Jason and Sarah here at Lambeau Field for our first installment of videos. This may be the first of many, it may be first of one, but Sarah with her 5 questions as the Packers prepare for this week's game against the Indianapolis Colts. You ready?
Ready.
You know, you're just asking the questions. I should be nervous. I got to answer them.
Especially because you wouldn't let me ask you them before.
I like to be surprised. All right, so go ahead. Question
Okay.
1.
First question. Aaron Rodgers was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Title doesn't matter, award doesn't really matter, but what does it mean about how the offense is played?
Well, I'm anticipating a very good story by you about that exact topic later on at ESPNWisconsin.com. But I think that you hit it right on the head. It's not really so much that he wins the award. He's won this award before. I'm sure you'll have all the information on how many times he's won it. But to me, it's what it says about where this offense is. The first 3 weeks, Aaron Rodgers said it on the radio show yesterday, they didn't play like the offense that we've come to expect from them, and he certainly didn't play the way we expect him to play either. So I think the good news is that he played well enough to earn this honor. It's an indication of where the offense stands.
And who else on the offense has impressed you?
You know, I'm probably James Jones' biggest defender. I think it's great that he's increasing his trade value so they can trade him to Miami now. I think it's great that he's playing well. It's even more important considering we don't know what the future holds with Greg Jennings, not only next year with free agency, but right now with his injuries that he's facing. And I'm guessing he won't play against the Colts. Maybe he won't play against the Texans either. We'll see how long it takes before that groin is healthy.
So the offense struggled a little bit to start the season, but the defense actually played pretty well. I mean, they were overshadowed in that Seahawks game with the controversial call.
It was controversial.
But they've been playing pretty well. What has been most impressive to you?
Well, first of all, I think folks that were down on the defense for the way they played against the Saints forget how good the Saints offense is. I mean, that's a good offense, a great offense. The past couple of years, they're obviously going through some times of discombobulation right now. But, you know, I think the important things we've seen from the defense is, one, that they have gotten a little more pressure. Now, they didn't get it a lot against Drew Brees, but Drew Brees isn't the kind of quarterback that allows you to get to him very often. So they've gotten some quarterback pressures. I think the most impressive thing is they've got a bunch of young guys who are playing okay right now and are only going to get better. And whether it's Jerron McMillan in the back end and Casey Hayward in the back end, or Nick Perry sharing some time with Eric Walden, or the guys up front, they've got some youth that's going to improve. And last season, you never got the feeling they were going to get any better. They were just kind of, this was their defense, and it wasn't going to be good enough, but the offense was going to overcome it. And I think they now have a defense that, if they need the defense to win a game, there's going to be a chance they can do it.
One thing they're not doing, though, is creating turnovers. They had the 4 against Cutler, but that's it.
Yeah, if they played Jay Cutler every week, they'd be in great shape. What's remarkable about that, though, Sarah, is the fact that since 2009, they're the best in the business at it. 114 takeaways since the start of the 2009 season. That's better than everybody, and I think the Patriots are second on that list. But yeah, 4 against Cutler, 0 in the opener against Alex Smith and the 49ers, 0 in the third game. Now, in fairness, they had 2 interceptions that were, one that was wiped out by a penalty on Eric Walden, and the other one that somehow turned into a touchdown. So they had their opportunities in that one, they just didn't count. And then they had a couple of balls that they got their hands on against the Saints, but weren't able to cash in. So to me, that's the one area of the defense where I don't know if it's a concern, but it's certainly, like we were talking about with the offense, it doesn't fit the profile of what this defense is.
And then you pick the Packers to win every week, so you are too as well.
I am a homer, yes, pathetic. I'm picking against them in Houston for sure. I'm not picking against them this week against Indianapolis.
Now you just took my question for next week. So.
Well, that goes well.
Right.
What was the question?
It was going to be, are you picking them to beat the Colts this week?
Yeah, I think that it's a pretty self-evident one there, because the Colts are a team that's rebuilding. I think eventually, when you start with a building block like Andrew Luck, you're going to build into a very good team. They've certainly been fortunate, kind of like the Packers, that they had Brett Favre for so many years. They end up with, obviously, Aaron Rodgers. Now, it played out a little bit differently than it has in Indianapolis, but I think they're a ways away. I do think that the Colts are going to probably come out very emotional with Chuck Pagano having been diagnosed with leukemia this week, but I think the Packers are the better team, and I think that they'll win.
All right, it's 5 questions.
At least this installment. We'll see if the next one has 5 questions or 10 or 15, or if there even is a next one. So for Sarah, I'm Jason. Thanks for tuning in.